What is going on there, everyone? Well, we got a funny little story. It's a short story. I don't know how many of you even know Joe Walsh. He's a Republican that's an anti-Trumper that was trying to primary Trump. So, there you go. That's who Joe Walsh is. But let's get into the story. After getting booed and jeered in Iowa, Joe Walsh suspends his campaign. You really think it's a good idea being a Republican going against Trump right now when practically the whole party has unified? Come on. I know you didn't really think you were going to get anywhere, Mr. Walsh. Joe Walsh, the former Republican congressman who challenged President Donald Trump, suspended his long shot campaign on Friday, days after he was booed and jeered by fellow Republicans at an Iowa caucus site. Yeah, it was a thing of beauty. It was a thing of beauty. I'm suspending my campaign, but our fight against the cult of Trump is just getting started. I'm committing to doing everything I can do to defeat Trump and his enablers this November. I can't do it alone, he said on Twitter. Okay, well, let's talk about cult-like behavior in politics. Where does that actually come from? Who acts like the cultist? I would have to say that's more of a leftist thing. Much more of a leftist thing. They literally treat leftism like it's a religion. And they shun everyone who doesn't believe in them. They try to get you canceled, this, that, and the other. They like to do doxing. They like to attack people that disagree with them on anything. Like physically attack them, mind you. So, who's the cult here? I don't think it's people that support the president. I know a lot of people who support the president, and they're not like, full-fledged like Trumpians or anything. No, they just support the president because his policies work. They make sense. Yeah, that's kind of what it is. It's hard to complain about this guy, Mr. Trump, when everything's going really, really well for Americans. If you wouldn't listen to CNN and MSNBC and this, that, and the other, all those left-wing media organizations, you would know that. But if you're specifically letting them pump your head full of ideological nonsense, far-left nonsense, then yeah. But let's get further into this. Walsh and two other so-called never-Trumpers, former Massachusetts Governor William Weld and former South Carolina Representative Mark Sanford, have also challenged Trump. Sanford suspended his campaign in November, leaving Weld as the only remaining in the GOP primary field. Because some people can't take a hint very well. People don't want another Republican leader. We're very happy with what we got. Yes, I say it all the time. He's brash and all this. He says stuff a lot of people don't like. Fine. Fair enough. I get it. I don't like everything he says, but you know what? I can choose not to listen to those parts. I choose not to read his Twitter feed all the time. Think about it. You can choose what you want to hear and what you don't want to hear. So if he says something stupid, yeah, just brush it off. We all say stupid things all the time. We usually do it probably in private. He's not a private guy, so he says it in public. No big deal. It's not really hurting anybody, unless you're a snowflake, which sounds like Mr. Walsh, a little bit on the snowflakey side. Walsh has done little campaigning aside from his frequent interviews on CNN. Good choice. You're trying to get Republican voters. Going on CNN's not the best look. CNN's clearly fake news. I will give them just the tiniest little bit of credit for some of the remarks on the State of the Union. They actually came out, and a lot of the left wing, not all, but a lot, actually came out and said, he did a good job. Now, you wouldn't know this. By the way, Nancy Pelosi and her radical leftists in the House and in Congress and everything, in the Senate, yeah, you wouldn't know it by listening to anything they have to say or the way they acted. No, but actual real Democrats, the moderate ones that are decent people, that still have their head on their shoulders, yeah, they liked what Trump was saying. It was a very pro-American speech. It didn't have hardly any real political connotations to it. It was pro-America. And for everyone to sit there and watch the Democrats just scour and be silent and not clapping for so many just remarkable things that was being spoken about, kind of shows a little glimpse into where they're at mentally, and where they're at when it comes to actually liking this country. I'm not even going to say love, because I don't think hardly any of them love this country, because they wouldn't put us through all the nonsense they've been putting us through for the last 3.5, 4 years. It's ridiculous. It's disgusting. On Monday, he rallied at a caucus site in Ankeny, Iowa, where caucus goers booed him after he asked if they still wanted 4 more years of the Trump show. I would say that was a clear indication of absolutely they want 4 more years. Absolutely. Everything seems to be going very well. That's how it works. The old adage, it's the economy, stupid. That's it. People get more money. People are finding jobs. People are getting better jobs, and they have more. There's more jobs to pick from than ever. So, I mean, come on, man. You can't deny those facts. It's simply a fact now. The statistics are there. Walsh, a former radio host, was a vocal Trump supporter in 2016 and through much of 2017. Since turning sour on the president, he has won support from prominent Republican Trump critics like George Conway. I believe that's Kellyanne Conway's husband. You know, that's got to be an awkward household. Kellyanne Conway and George Conway. I can only imagine. And Bill Kristol, who no one gives a damn about. Walsh raised just shy of $175,000 for his campaign through December 31st, 2019. He loaned the campaign $300,000 in 4 installments. Yeah. And I love the fact that it stated that little part, because that's a big piece. How much has Donald Trump raised? Yeah. Well over $140 million. Well over that. I'm not even, as of this moment, I don't know exactly how much. I just know it's well over $140 million. So when you're campaigning and you raised only $175,000, wouldn't you think that's a clear indication that your message is falling on deaf ears? I mean, come on, really. Get out of here. Some of the most radical of the Democratic presidential campaigns raised much more than $175,000. I'm pretty sure Marianne Williamson raised much more than that, like considerably much more than that. And she's a little nutty. I like her. She seems like a very sweet-hearted woman. Good soul. She's got a good soul. But she's a little nutty. And, yeah, she outraised that. Joe Walsh, you had no chance. Never Trumpers. You have no chance of winning anything, because we've pretty much, as a conservative party, we've coalesced around the president. Like I said, you don't have to like the guy. I say this all the time. You don't have to like the guy to admit his policies work. Sure, he says stupid stuff, but guess what? America is stronger. And don't listen to the media when everyone's like, oh, but the rest of the world. First off, I don't give a damn about the rest of the world. I don't care. I'm an American. I got to worry about what's going on here at the home front. The rest of the world can figure out their own. And to be honest, the rest of the world actually, like the leaders, kind of respect Trump because of the way he's so pro-American. He's fighting for his people. You know, he's getting other countries to pay where they weren't paying on military assets, this, that, and the other. I mean, he's come in, and he's shaken the game. He has changed it. He's turned it over on its head. And, you know, we're gonna see, I like to call it the benefits of this for a long time to come. We're in a new era of this political norms, you know, not anymore. There are no political norms anymore, and it's kind of a good thing. It's a very good thing, you know. Trump came in, he shook it up, and now we're doing better than ever. There's a lot more transparency. I mean, things are going good. So I'm just glad to see this Walsh fella finally backing off. He knows he can't win. I think Iowa was that big nail in the coffin, so to say. He figured it out. He's a slow learner, but he figured it out. There's no reason to be a never Trumper if you're a Republican. Be proud. There's no cult like thing. I don't care about a lot of things that a lot of other conservatives care about, and vice versa. You know, we're all independent people, independent thinkers. Yes, we may all represent the big red elephant or something, but yeah, other than that, we're all still independent. Unlike the left. Go join them, Mr. Walsh. Go become a Democrat. I think you'll fit in a lot better in the actual cult. Because they all think exactly the same. They all hate the president. You know, they're all preaching the same nonsense. Go ahead, go join them. And then just go hang out with them. You'll see what a real cult looks like. But I digress. I'd love to hear your comments on this. And as always, like, share, and subscribe. I'll catch y'all on the flip side.